better daily, where we work hard in our minds, bodies, and our spirits to become 1% better every single day. Download the app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live to catch the video version of these podcasts. Here's your host and my dad, Alex Van Houten.
What's up, Betterment family? This is Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Happy Thursday. Today is Word Thursday, and on Word Thursday, I like to go through a word with you guys that I hope is impactful and gives us some insight and opportunity to jump into the 1% better every single day from a spiritual perspective. And so today, the word is faith. I wanted to pick a nice, easy word. I'm just kidding. This one might take several to unpack, but hey, faith is a very, very powerful word, and I'm excited to dive in with you today on that front. And now I do want to say that if you are here in the Better Daily community and you're watching this video, take a moment and follow the link in the comments that I post to find our Better Daily podcast. What I've done is I've taken the content from these Better Daily Lives and I've put them out into the world in a way that it's easy to share with family and friends. And so if you're in this community and you find this 1% better journey meaningful with the group of people who are also working toward their 1% better daily, and you find some of this content helpful and valuable in a way that you really want to share it, the goal is to make it easier to share that via podcast form, since many of the folks in this group came here because of podcast work that I've done in the past. So I hope you'll go check that out. I hope you'll leave us a raving review. The podcast will lag what we do here in this community by a few weeks. So they're getting in the podcast what we did back in August compared to, what you're hearing from me in this moment. So that's very exciting. It's also kind of a weird time warp when I listen to the podcast just to make sure everything's going like it's supposed to. I listen and I'm like, wow, man, I was like a month and a half ago. Good morning, KT. Good morning, John. Thank you guys for joining me. Today is Word Thursday, and we're diving into the word faith. Faith is a deeply spiritual, deeply powerful word, and it's a hard one to really pin down. And so I'm excited to dive into it with you today and relate it to our 1% better journey. Good morning, Janet. So faith, the dictionary definition of faith is the adherence to a truth for which there is not complete evidence. That's the dictionary definition of faith. The adherence to a truth for which there is not complete evidence. The New Testament book, Hebrews, the writer of Hebrews, something gets Paul, something gets somebody else, so I won't name them. I'll just say the writer of Hebrews in the New Testament defines faith this way. In Hebrews 11:1, he says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen." When I was a kid, I was brought up in a conservative Christian home, and I would read the Bible, and I would see all of the amazing things that Jesus could do because of his faith. So he would heal the blind man, or he would heal the lame man, or there's an instance in the New Testament where the disciples bring him a boy who has a demon. He was demon possessed, and he's throwing himself in the fire and stuff, and they can't heal him. And so the parents are like, well, we'll bring him to Jesus because these disciples don't know what they're doing. And the disciples ask Jesus later, after he successfully casts out this demon from this child, they say, why couldn't we do it? And he says, you are of little faith. And later he says, this kind of faith comes from prayer and fasting. He also says in the Gospels that if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, just super, super tiny, right? If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. You can say to that mountain, go here, and it will go. And everything you ask for will be done for you. And so when I was a kid and I read these things, I was thinking like, what is that? I don't know what faith is, but I need more of that, And so I'm like, what is faith? And I'm looking for a decent definition to understand what it is so I can get more of it. And so you come to Hebrews, and now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Man. It's like a poem I don't get, that didn't help me at all. I was kind of mad about it, actually. I don't know how to get this magical thing called faith, the substance of the things that I hope for and the evidence of the things that I don't see. And it turns out that it was just an issue of maturity, because though faith is a very difficult thing to define, it's very easy to say that whatever it is, most of us want more of it, more of the manifestation of the fruits of faith in our life. Right, so let's say you get some bad news. Let's say a family member is ill, and I don't wish that on you, but it's going to happen. That's life. Everybody gets sick someday. let's say a family member is ill, and you approach the situation with hope and faith. You hope that they get better. You have faith that they'll get better. But at the same time, there's a very realistic part of you that's not naive, that knows that everybody has to die someday and that the physical body breaks down. And so the question is, what are the fruits of faith in this situation? Are they miracles? Is it healing of the physical body? Or is there something else that is more like moving mountains? So I have a specific situation in mind that I'll probably talk about at a later date. But when you approach life in a place where there are no easy answers, when medicine kind of runs out and, the doctors say, hey, we've done everything we can do. Or you come to a place in your life where you don't know what the next step needs to be. Maybe you come to a place in your business where you know things should be moving in a certain direction, but you don't really know what that direction is. There is a place in life, no matter what your faith background is, there's a place in life where you need more faith. You need more, as the dictionary definition puts it, you need more belief in a truth for which there is not evidence yet. You need more faith. And one of the things that I hope to pin down today about faith is how the fruits of faith come by the definition, the substance of the things that we hope for and the evidence of the things that we don't see. I see this so often in health and fitness journeys. When somebody starts a workout program or they start eating well or they start sleeping well or they start taking supplements that they know are good for them, that there's really good, robust research about, and so they do these things, right? We as humans expect that tomorrow we will see the fruits of that change. We expect that tomorrow we'll see the fruits of cleaning up our diet. We expect tomorrow that we'll see the fruits of exercising hard. We expect tomorrow that we're going to be exceptionally good at this new thing that we started. And it's so funny because we're of such little faith. We make a change that we know is good. Maybe we increase our protein. Maybe we cut out sugar. Maybe we make a swap that's really good for us. And then we step on the scale tomorrow. And if we gained a pound, we're like, oh, terrible. Ugh, I'm working so hard. Blah. I should see
results.
Or I see this a lot in the CrossFit community when individuals first go to CrossFit. They crush themselves in a workout. Power to them. They just lay it on the floor. They're basically laying on the floor by the end of it. They probably burned 1,000 calories or something. And then they weigh themselves the next day and they've gained a pound and they're like, how did I gain a pound? Like, what? First of all, throw the stupid scale away. You should weigh on a more periodized basis than daily because there's weird things. You know what happens when you eat a 1 pound cheeseburger? You gain a pound. Doesn't matter what you worked out. It's 1 pound that you have ingested. Now you have a pound. Anyway, side note on faith, right? But this happens so often in the health and fitness journey because the substance of the things that you hope for and the evidence of the things that you don't see manifest themselves in the steps that you take every single day with faith, knowing that what you're doing is the right thing, knowing that what you're doing is building and growing something worthwhile, right? Was it good to get more protein in your system? Yes. From a hormonal perspective, from a muscle growth perspective, from a health perspective, it was great to cut out sugar from your diet. You know that. You know that's good. But do you have the faith to see it through? Because the process that the body goes through to rebuild you, the process that the body goes through to adapt, it's not as fast as you'd like it to be. It's kind of like Peter. Jesus is out there walking on the water and he says, Lord, if it's you, tell me to come to you. And he says, come. So Peter steps out of the boat and he's walking on water. By the gospel account, he's walking on water. Just for a moment, just for that moment, he's walking on water. He's doing something impossible. And maybe you're doing something impossible. Maybe you're breaking a cycle in your family that has gone on for literally generations, and you are the buck stops with you. That's impossible, by the way, and it's so powerful that you're a part of that process. Maybe you're starting a workout program, or you're changing the way that you eat, even though everybody else around you is doing other stuff. All of the momentum is moving in the wrong direction everywhere around you, but not you. The buck stops with you. As for you and your house, you are making this change, right? Maybe you're doing something impossible, like Peter. You step out on the water and you are doing the impossible, and then you start to take some steps. And that is where Peter looks down at the waves, and he's dismayed. He looks down and he sees the waves, and he sees the wind, and he starts to sink. He throws his hand up to Jesus and says, Lord, help me, I'm sinking. And so Jesus comes to him, pulls him back up. I just imagine this compassionate, oh, you have little faith. You were there. You were starting to do it. You were right there. Don't stop next time, because the journey of the fruits of faith is a process. If you start lifting today, tomorrow you're not going to see the results. You might not even see it 4 weeks from now. You might get stronger. Your muscles might start to grow. You might start to see a little change in the mirror. That's cool. But if your wife doesn't compliment you, or your clothes don't fit differently, or, so-and-so doesn't mention how it looks like you're losing weight or something like that, don't get discouraged. This is a process. Every single cell in your body is going to turn over in the next 2 to 4 years, depending on your metabolism. So I'm looking at my hand, and I'm going to have a whole new hand in about 2 to 4 years. It's going to be built out of the things that I ate. And the way that I've instructed my body to use my DNA blueprint is going to come out of how I live, how I'm sleeping, how I'm lifting, how often I ask my hand to grab something tight and hold on to it, how often I hold a fishing pole. More often, I hope. We're still teaching Bennett. Teaching a 2-year-old to fish is difficult, but, patience. Anyway, you're going to have a whole new version of you. But that version of you takes time to build, and it's going to take faith in the process. It's going to take you showing up regularly. It's going to take you stepping out of the boat and doing more than just stepping out of the boat. Stepping out of the boat and keeping your eyes on the prize and keep moving forward, because you know that what you're doing is the right thing to do, even if you don't see the fruits of it yet, even if you don't see the results. All this to set up to say, I really, really loved reading your guys' responses to what you took away from the Faithful 40 Challenge. I think over the next couple weeks, I'll be sharing those, and I'm hoping to have some conversations with those of you who shared what the Faithful 40 meant to you, and publishing that in our community so that you can see what it looks like over a period of 40 days to stay faithful to what it is that you've set out to do, to what it is you've committed to do, and the fruits of what that looks like. 40 days is not a super long time, but it's long enough. It's long enough to see progress. It's long enough to see results. And if you keep your eyes off the wind and waves and keep your eyes on the prize, then faith will carry you a long way. Faith, again, Hebrews 11:1, the substance of the things that we hope for and the evidence of the things we don't see. It's the thing that keeps you on the road running, and the thing that keeps you lifting even if you don't see the change or the progress yet. It's the thing that spurs you to make that swap in your nutrition, to make that extra effort in fasting, something along those lines that helps you to take that step even though the benefits, the results, the gratification is going to be delayed. So I especially like this. Mark, shout out to you, brother. He said, I did 40 days of minding what I ate and making sure that I walked more often. It's getting better, and it continues, and hey, I lost 8.5 pounds. Nice job, man. I'm really thankful for the folks here who encouraged me. Awesome. Lisa said, I'm a little late in posting, but I wanted to share that this Faithful 40 has been the best one for me as far as sticking to my workouts and making big changes in my diet. I'm starting to see real results and feeling really confident as we roll into the holidays. I've given up sweets, which has been a huge obstacle for me in social settings. They even had worn insomnia cookies, whatever that is, at work yesterday, and I just ignored them. The support and accountability here at Better Daily has been a blessing. You guys rock. Way to go, Lisa. That's awesome. I'm going to share a few more in the coming Better Daily Lives, but I want to thank you guys so much for being a part of something big, challenge-wise, and for exploring what it means to be faithful for 40 days with me. I hope that in your journey of betterment, in your journey of manifesting what it is that God created you to be, I hope that you'll stay faithful in that even outside of the Faithful 40 Challenge. And if nothing else, I hope you'll keep your eyes on the prize. Stepping out of the boat is really hard, and I imagine walking on water is even more impossible. But we can do impossible things, especially if we keep our eyes on where it matters. Guys, thank you so much for joining me in this Better Daily Live for Word Thursday. We still have some more unpacking of faith to do, but I think that's a good start. Until next time, it's just 1%. You've got this.
Thank you for joining us for 1% Better today. Don't forget to subscribe for the podcast. Leave us a raving review to tell others how Better Daily has helped you in your journey. If you want more Better Daily, download our app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live. Use code POD to get 25% off your subscription. That's POD, all caps, to save 25% on your subscription. We all have a cross to carry. It's lighter when we do it together. Go to betterdaily.live today.